Welcome, creatures of all ages. My name is Zosimus Tarkus, and yeah, my mic's working. I am Zosimus Tarkus, the warlord of Thrax. For 2,000 years, I have lived among you and fought in your battles, from the mires of Germania to the deserts of Bactria. But now the time has come for me to lay down my arms and teach the youths of humanity about the lessons I have learned, the people I have met, and the civilizations I have seen rise and fall. That's normally, of course. Today we are talking about a different world other than the world outside of my memories. We are entering the world of fantasy, and that particular world is... Wait, I forget. I don't know what the world of this particular book series is called, but Record of Lodoss War, like, right. For now, that's all that's really important. It just the book is called Records of Lodoss War, and it's one of the most influential series in classic Japanese fantasy, I guess. To the point where when I first found out about it, it was actually on 1D4chan on TG. Basically 1D4chan is the wiki regarding TG, the traditional game section of 4chan, and they called it Record of Loads of War. This was the time when they really didn't like weebs, when they really didn't like anime, but this is an exception, and there are definitely a lot of exceptions like this that are, like, approved by Western gamers. Another one is Freeren. I believe the the creator of Call of Cthulhu, Sandy Peterson, has now gotten hooked on Freeren. So others I think are Slayer. Oh yeah, Slayers. Also really important, largely because in Dota, one of the characters, Lena, is actually named after the main character of Slayers, Lena Inverse. On all her names, like, what is it? What I don't know. I forget what the names of her moves are, but they're all named after Lena's moves. Yeah, I haven't played Dota in a while. I still have a fond memory of getting, like, a rampage with 2 divine rapiers with Juggernaut at one point, but that's for another day to talk about. If I ever get back to competitive gaming, which is probably not in this universe, probably in the same universe that Record of Lodoss War takes place in, is the one, and in a faraway galaxy from that particular galaxy, I'm playing League of Legends and Dota. That's as likely. Fuck that. I'm never playing competitive games again. But you know what? That's not the point. We're going to be playing Total War Warhammer 3 as the High Elves, as Tyrion. I had once gave this a try. I once tried to play this and it didn't work out very well, but I'm going to come a little more prepared now. So I am playing it on normal difficulty. Normal difficulty just because I'm terrible at games, but that's not the point. The point of this whole game is... the point of this whole thing is reviewing the book and maybe reading out some other classic fantasy. Anyways, we are also using the SFO mod. I never played this game without the overall. It's really good. It makes everything work out. It balances everything. So yeah. Anyways, what are we doing right now? Warhammer. Nobody's here right now, which means I can start right away. Alright.
Empire's blessings, yes.
I am
Tyrion. Easy
heir
mode.
of an area.
Retribution or Unity. Every High Elf faction grant unique Confederate bonuses. So basically a bit of a role-playing perspective of this. So I didn't actually plan to use the whole random events thing, so, but I think I will. I think I will add in a bit of roleplay into this, so let's get out the random event story event generator. Just, again, since no one's here, I can't cringe anyone to death with my headcanons. I will point out, by the way, my permanent headcanon, and one permanent headcanon I will never give up in Warhammer Fantasy. So basically in Warhammer Fantasy begins with the war between the elves and lizardmen and the demons of chaos, when the gates, the polar gates to the realms of chaos collapse and demons flood in. You know what, I'll explain as I go along. So, anyways, this is Tyrion. In case anyone doesn't know, Tyrion is sort of like the big damn hero of the High Elves. He is, he and his brother Teclis are cursed by the sword of Cain, by the curse of Cain. Cain being the god of murder. And however, they were able to overcome their curse and channel it to defend Ulthuan from their enemies, the Dark Elves. Tyrion, as you can see, is definitely one of the more, I don't know, brutish of the two. He also is easily corruptible and could at any moment fall to Cain, as you can see from the Shrine of Cain building. And yeah. Basically, his goal is utter destruction of his enemies, be it other High Elves or other High Elves who get in his way, or Dark Elves. So yeah, let's go. Let me get out the random plot generator. Wait, where is it? There, here it is. Okay. I'm only going to start reviewing the book maybe an hour in, and to wait for to see if anyone joins. So joins the stream, and if they don't, I will start then. Otherwise, yep, this is Total War. An island paradise said to have been created especially for the High Elves, Ulthuan has unsurprisingly not been able to escape the attentions of the wider world. It's a place of incredible magic, where unthinkable power is harnessed and borne upon gentle winds, while the swirling vortex at its heart inexorably draws in the surplus arcane energies of the world, preventing an all-out demonic incursion upon the mortal plane. Long has this place attracted the predations of others, be it the old world's primitive belligerents or worse, the demonic hordes who prize elven souls above all others. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, our immediate opponents are the Dark Elves. This is the Cult of Excess, so I'm guessing they are followers of the Dark God, Slanesh, God of Excess.
Tyrion, heir of Anarion.
We have Spearmen. Spearmen are basically the basic, Spearmen are actually
Shield
not
against
that, look, 50 armor, that's not that strong. They're basically sort of there as cannon fodder. Because spearmen are actually the sort of militia of the of Ulthuan. The real actual foot soldiers are the Lothran Sea Guard. They're the standing army. So and they have spears and bows.
Ulf ones defend.
And then we also have Silver Helms. They're basically the basic lower-ish born nobles who are heading out to who offer their cavalry services. And we also have one of the most overpowered units in the game, the Flamespire's Phoenix. This thing is a bomber. It flies over, it can fly over enemies and drop bombs on them, like drop flaming blasts, and it has like 10 of them, so with enough micromanagement, this thing can destroy entire armies on their own. So yeah. Anyways, let's get the random event generator out. No, not this. Alright. Let's see. The main character is young, cautious, and thinks carefully. It's definitely not Tyrion, so I'm guessing it's her. I'm guessing it's my mage hero. The setting is a registry office, so she is a bureaucrat. As much as a bureaucrat. Not even a bureaucrat. She's basically there to cleanse corruption. So our goal should be to get public order up to. Our goal should be to get public order up to 100, and the situation is someone telling the truth is not believed. Alright, we have a spy in our midst. Someone who, a high elf ally who will get in our way eventually. And the theme is hatred. Alright, I think, and we know what our goal is. Our goal is to destroy Calador. Before, capture Calador, alright. So basically, the story is Tyrion is out for blood. Is out for blood, and his assistant, the High Mage, the Heavens Mage Venola, his diviner, seeks to temper his wrath. So the goal will be either to confederate or to destroy Calador, and to. Hopefully she wants to confederate them, Tyrion wants to destroy them, and the goal is also to get 100, get Lothran up to through 100 public order. So we will start building. Okay, we will build in Elven Gardens. This is where sort of the registration office all is. We're also going to try to build an embassy. Well, not a registration gardens. This is basically just to where all the professionals hang out, I guess. And we will build a plaza to keep spirits high.
What orders?
And
her servant.
Oh, I see. So we need 30 influence. I definitely need a noble then, because nobles can get me influence. So
ever vigilant.
Listening.
We are going to start. I don't know what this pirate is doing here. This is some guy named Empire pirate, a human pirate named Gentleman Jenkins. Might have to get rid of him eventually. No, I don't have to. For now, he's just sailing around. Most likely what will happen is if I go out to sea, he'll attack me. But until then, he's not actually going to attack my settlements. But,
ready
yeah.
To serve.
I hear the Cadet. Gladriel, grant me your sight.
To victory.
Bile Salmon. That does sound like a pretty dark elf name. So the Dark Elves are our cousins. Long ago, there was a civil war in which the Dark Elves went to serve Dark Elf served the son of the Elves' national hero Anarion, because the son Malekith was passed over to be the next king because of his temper. Malekith was convinced by his mother, the evil witch Morathi, to start a civil war to take over the island. And in the process of the civil war, the Dark Elves were driven out. Their home was torn apart by an event called the Sundering. And and now they have basically become the most evil faction in the game. The Dark Elves are, what is it? It's a social Darwinist society that regularly raids and enslaves other cultures. This particular group, the Cult of Excess, worships Slanesh. No, either they worship Slanesh or they worship the goddess of hedonism, Authority. But what is it? Morathi herself is devoted to Slanesh.
Spearman.
Alright, so they have Dread Spears, they have Dark Shards. Dark Shards are the ones with repeater crossbows. I am going to use my Spearmen as cannon fodder, as they are supposed to, which they will happily do. Going to use my Silver Helms to screen against their shock cavalry sorcerers, Dark Riders. No, these aren't, what is it? Doomfire Warlocks, those are Dark Riders. I'm going to screen. I'm going to use my Sea Guard as a line of... I'm going to have my Venola, my Sorceress, hop behind here and use her divination abilities to support them. And then Tyrion is on foot, so he is going to just wreck face.
Assure onwards to victory.
Here are the Dark Riders. They're actually light cavalry. And these are my shock cavalry, Silver Helms.
Spearman. Asa, forward. Asa, advance.
Okay, more Dark Riders. We're just gonna brace.
Lusts for battle.
Loyal! Asa, forward! Our adversaries are
To victory!
Okay, I forgot that the entire purpose was to lure of the Pale Queen. All right.
One mage. Winds of magic rise.
Tyrion! Moving out!
So as you can see, that's what the Flamespire Phoenix does. Just bombs them.
For duty! For Ulthuan!
It shall be. Going abroad.
Acknowledge!
spearmen!
Yes! Vengeance!
Alright, so Silver Helms have crashed into the Dark Shards. I'm going to cycle charge them out.
Moving out!
just get another bombardment in. Alright, let's do another charge in.
Wolfwan Mage. Following Ethua. I go there. Lakoi Soraya.
Battle calls for our ancestors. Spearmen.
Kill them!
Loven Seaguard.
Alright,
It shall be done.
so this guy has like some sort of super crossbow because
Wolfwan
so one
Mage.
thing about characters in this is that unlike in other Total War games where they have bodyguard units that do all the fighting, these characters are all one-man armies that do like superhuman amounts of splash damage. And this guy has a crossbow, so what he ends up doing is shooting like a super crossbow that pierces.
Silver helms.
Loven Seaguard.
It will be done. Alaria.
Alright, that settles it.
Shield of the Ever Queen. Spearmen.
We will obey.
We advance. Kill them. Aurea.
Alright, just going to fast forward the rest. Alright, that's pretty straightforward. But yeah, if you, in general, if you can fight these, fight single characters with your own single characters or monsters, then you probably should, because if you swarm infantry over them, they'll die. A few of them will die in in the character's area attacks. So that's why I was just having the spearmen just watch, I guess. But yeah. Alright, we have to kill all Dark Elves because they are our hated enemies and and that's all they deserve.
They must die.
Alright, let's see if we can actually capture the settlement. Yeah, I think we can.
Servant of the king.
Oh yeah, so Tyrion is not actually the king, he is a prince. The actual king is this guy named Finnabar, and Lothern is his court.
Shield against the darkness. Aurea.
I will quickly deal with this. All right, so these guys are they just have swordsmen, spearmen, and some crossbows. So this should be over quickly.
Loven Seaguard.
It shall be done. Sword of the Ashur.
Ulfwan Mage.
Servant of light. Heir of Anarian. Sons and daughters of Ulfwan. Be ready. Gird your souls.
All
Let
right.
them come. To battle. Die, Ashur! Dragon Ball! Silver Helms! Heir of Anarian. Silver Helms!
All right.
It will be done.
It will be done. It will be done.
It will be done. Advance! It shall be done.
All right.
We go!
So yeah, early start. However, the last time I tried playing this on stream, the Tower of Assyrian, I wasn't able to take that. I wasn't able to take that settlement, so it was a little bit embarrassing. Anyways, in 30 minutes, I'm going to start doing the book review. All right, Harold Hammerstone. By the way, this is the guy that what is it? Warhammer is actually named after. Originally, he was just a model without any place in the lore called Harry the Hammer, a Chaos Warrior with a hammer. And they decided to actually bring him back.
Come, join us. Champion of the Ever Queen.
So like I said, right now our goal is administration, so we're gonna go for that.
Alariel's champion. Champion of the Ever Queen.
Alright, our realm
As
is
command.
expanding. So
Ever
let's see who we can recruit at anyways. So let's see.
Death Knight is upon us.
I currently need.
servant of the king.
So archers are generally one of the most important parts of the archers are generally one of the most important points of the high elf army because they do shit tons of damage and they're cheap, even if they can, and they're okay in close combat. So yeah, that's what we are going to do. We're going to recruit some archers.
Protector of the Ever Queen.
Short-sighted.
Short? No alliance! All right. All right. Anyways, all right. It is a time of rebellions. The deceivers must be purged. Yeah, this is going to make this a little harder. So, yeah, this sorry, a lot harder. So for the next 10 turns, I'm going to have less control to fit with the roleplay we have.
Awaiting orders.
A colonnade. More just places for elves to just hang out and converse and write poetry.
Tyrion, heir of Anarion.
The Empire.
Shield against the darkness.
All right, let's get some more militia and let's also get some rangers.
Isha bless you.
First, also, let's try to arrange some trade deals. This is Alariel. Alariel is Tyrion's sort of... I don't know if they're married or not, but definitely they're in love. So, obviously we're going to have to... work together.
You have my undivided attention.
And then there's Illyrian. Illyrian is like the horse people. No, they have a lot of horses. Horses. The Illyrian and Reavers are the light cavalry of the High Elf army. So let's see if they can help us out.
What request would you make of the Phoenix King?
All right, they're willing to join in. Calidor, of course, has a bit of a problem with us. So Safari apparently does not have a very good relationship with Aberlorn. So I will deal with them later. Tirnock also is a little bit annoyed with us because apparently nobody likes... Oh! Tirnock is actually at war with Illyrian. No matter, I need the horses of Illyrian. So I will have to deal with the problematic actors later.
You need me? Defender of Ulfwa.
Is there anyone else who I know? Oh yeah, the Dread Fleet is going to be... Count Noctilus's Dread Fleet is going to be a bit of a problem. I'm guessing this whole mechanic of... a mechanic up here, once it gets to a certain point, I'll be able to make that big decision. Alright, I just upgraded the militia camp to a rally field. Alright, so now I can get some Sea Guard, except I probably can't because there is a unit cap for, yes. There is a yes I can, but there is a unit cap for, in this particular mod, so I'm going to be following that.
Garrisoning. Champion of the Ever Queen. Tyrion, heir of Anarion.
Alright, so right now I don't have much influence, so I can only afford like the most pathetic of nobles, so Intolerable. This guy is a kind of an asshat. And this guy is Profligate. Okay, Profligate meaning he spends a lot. Excess. I will take this guy.
What do you require?
Alright, Rana, alright, so next chapter in our story, Venola is going to send Rana over to Calador in order to measure their loyalty. And by measure loyalty, of course, Tyrion just wants to get him to get an excuse to attack.
Smash it to ruins. You have my attention.
Your orders?
And then...
No.
Protector of the Ever Queen. Shield against the darkness.
Alright, 15 more minutes, then I will start talking about Record of Lodoss War. Seriously though, I loved that book, Record of Lodoss War. I mean, you might not know, I have severe ADD. Because of that, I have very low reading fluency. I won't call it dyslexia, but it's very difficult to read words and put them together as sentences. And so because of that, I read very slowly, and most books I really can't handle because I can only handle books if they really excite me, and this was definitely one of them.
Order must be maintained.
Alright, so the High Elves, elves don't actually get a huge amount of income from buildings. They get it mostly from trade. So that is what we are going to do here. Let's see.
Ready for orders.
All right, let's attack. Oh yeah, first of all,
Your aid. Destruction.
okay, the process is still ongoing.
Following your orders.
I want to see if he attack. Should I attack right now, or should I see if he attacks me? Okay, so these guys are Blackguard Corsairs. These are sort of the mainstay of the Dark Elf forces because they are the raiders. Dark Elves do not prefer to engage in pitched battles. So, they are the ones who usually carry out surprise and amphibious attacks. These are Harpies. Harpies are basically just trained beasts for the Dark Elves. You know what, let's do it. Just me drinking water. You know, even though nobody's watching right now, what's really important is that I have something to keep me occupied, because I am sort of trying to lose weight, and this actually puts my attention on something important rather than snacking. Okay. A lot of them are in the woods, so I know these dark shards over here. I will put my spear archers right here. And then I will put my shield archers right here. I will put my pike archers right here.
Archers! Spearmen!
Alright, militia line right here.
Archers! Acknowledged!
Longbowmen right here. Elven longbows.
Archers!
I'll try to flank them, try to get behind them. Also, we'll try to get to the Harpies before they can get to my Sea Guard.
Orders received!
Just hide my Rangers over here.
Heir of Anarian. Servant of light.
Alright, just going to step up a bit.
Sons and daughters of Outland, be ready! Gird your soul! Let's get
Okay, make sure the Harpies
to battle!
move out. Alright, let's go.
To the fray!
Oh, the Silver Helms have been intercepted.
For duty!
Ulfwan Mage.
It shall
So far, so good.
Move! To battle!
Ulfwan Mage.
Spearman!
Loyal! It will be done. Orifare! Honor bound.
Spellcaster. Menlui! Araya Menlui!
Spearman!
Lothern Seagard! We will obey. Kill them! Without question. Lothern Seagard!
Alright, going to see if I can get a flank charge off. Alright, the Harpies are doing some serious damage to my Phoenix, but I think he'll win.
Heir of Anarian!
Ready. At once.
Understood!
Alright, my Spearmen have intercepted, my Rangers have intercepted the Dark Shards.
Understood! By Alariel!
Orders received. We advance!
By Assurian! Assure warrior!
Alright.
Silver Helms!
Alright, let's get the bombardment ready.
Tyrion! Victory awaits!
Eurofare!
Kill them! Lothern Seagard! To the fray!
Spearman! Ancestors!
Oh, here comes, here comes.
Asa, withdraw!
Lacoy!
Orders received!
As you say. Spearmen, we will obey. Pull back!
Alright, Tyrion has activated the Curse of Anarian. Like I said, he is out of control now. Now he has succumbed to
It shall be done!
the wrath of Cain.
Without fail.
Asa, forward!
Make Ulfwan proud. Assurian guides us. Lacoy! Lothern Seagard, march! Can I be praised? For duty, make Ulfwan proud.
Acknowledged!
March! For order!
Alright.
Loyal! Asa! Move! We go!
Loyal! Loyal! Asa, move! Death to all!
Warrior! Asa, forward! Death to all!
To battle!
Onward!
Ulfwan Mage. Time to leave.
Destroy them! Battle calls! Asa, advance! Without fail.
Alright.
For order! Champion of Alaria!
As you can see, he has a flaming sword. This is the sword Sunfang. It is the sword used by the ancient hero Kalidor Dragon Tamer, which the kingdom of Kalidor, which the princely state of Kalidor is named after.
The Widowmaker! Attack!
So Kalidor is the wizard who ultimately created the vortex in the center of the in the center of the island. That would what is it? Oh, as you can see, there's just this big brawl in the center.
Steel! Silver Helms! For Assyria! For order! Sign that! At once!
He built this vortex in order to funnel chaos energy out in order to defeat the demon, out of the world in order to defeat the demons. Damn, that was a bloodbath. The Rangers did a bang-up job, as you can see, as did my Phoenix, of course. All right, let's see what this new settlement that was captured by the Dark Elves has. Now that I've taken it back. All right.
This place is ours. Shield against the darkness.
Alright, I'm Gariel. It's a port, so pretty useful. Moksha, that's an interesting name for a Dark Elf. Moksha in Hinduism is the equivalent of, what is it? Is the equivalent of Nirvana. The idea is it's freedom from earthly desires and freedom from earthly desires, freedom from earthly attachments, freedom from despair and pain. Basically being one with the universe, enlightenment. Like, that's what I always assumed, you know, the Lord's Prayer, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. That's what I always assumed it meant, which is not I shall not want, which means I shall get everything I want. It means I shall not want, meaning I shall not want anything. I shall be humble and accept what I have. That certainly seems nicer, but, you know, I'll leave that. I'll leave the meaning to actual Christians.
Defender of Ulfwan.
Alright, Iron Disciplinarian.
Tyrion, heir of Anarion.
Alright.
Ready to serve.
Let's see. Let's build a homestead, a farm. that to grow the place.
Her servant.
Alright, it's about time, so I'm going to start reviewing the books. Okay. Record of Lodoss War, or as I call it, Japanese fantasy with no bullshit. Japanese fantasy is these days has sort of been tarnished, in my opinion, by the isekai genre. So, the isekai, which means it has harems. It has pathetic, overpowered, and overly nice protagonists. Like, you know, the isekai, my instant death ability is overpowered. That whole premise is so stupid. He's a pathetic hero, like a self-insert hero who just has the ability to just point at people and they die. It's I mean, I know I'm guessing there's more to it than that, but
Ever vigilant.
Record of Lodoss War, first of all, it's not an isekai. It is a traditional D&D style fantasy setting, but there's no stupid sexual humor. There's attractive female characters, but they're not like put in lucky pervert scenes. There's no like bathing scenes where they're found to where the guy stumbles in. It's fantasy that focuses on the fantasy aspect, not the fan service aspect. And by fan service, I mean I don't mean. First of all, I am a connoisseur of chainmail bikinis. I don't consider that to be fan service. I consider that to be aesthetic. What I consider to be fan service, pointless Japanese fan service, is, like I said, lucky pervert scenes. Pervert scenes where the guy stumbles into oversized boobs or hot bathing, or girls bathing. Like Tamaki. Tamaki in, what is it? Fire Force, that is fan service. Red Sonja is not fan service. Red Sonja is aesthetic. Maybe I'm being a little nitpicky, but, you know. Anyways, that's not the point. Hold on.
Alariel's champion.
Standing by.
Okay, so Record of Lodoss War definitely has classic D&D influences, largely because it is actually a D&D campaign. The Record of Lodoss War is originally a series of replays, transcriptions of a pen and paper RPG played by Ryo Mizuno and his friends. I believe it was first edition D&D or advanced D&D, because this was like the late 80s. So yeah, they played an RPG and they wrote it down. It turned out to be an amazing story.
I am honored.
Okay, do I want to attack right away, or do I want to? He has a watchtower. That means it's going to be an unwalled it's going to be a minor settlement battle. I don't want to do this.
Servant of the king. Let's see. I'm going to slowly try and replenish while recruiting also. So, while recruiting to replace the old ones. Brave and true.
No, I also want to gather influence, so.
Impossible. There will be carnage.
Perfect.
Protector of the Emperor.
You have my attention.
Okay, so now we are getting
Valiant.
1 influence per turn, and at 30 we will be able to unlock Alistair the White Lion. Tyrion's lieutenant. I'm not entirely sure who it is. I think it's Tyrion's lieutenant. But yeah.
Tyrion.
So yeah, classic D&D influences because it was originally a D&D campaign. Irredeemable. First of all, Record of Lodoss War has irredeemably evil races. There's goblins. It begins with Parn, the main and Parn the fighter, and Eto the cleric launching a preemptive strike against goblins because they will eventually attack the village they're in. So yeah, and Parn also later mentions that he wants to wipe out the monsters there to make the people safer. Oh, more barking. Alright, so High Elves at court partake in many manipulations to achieve their ends. A common tool is to employ lesser elves and servants as go-betweens, whispering little birds carrying messages. This is not unexpected, but when one of these messages and messengers is interpreted or revealed, there can be no choice but to excoriate him to save oneself. Having one such messenger revealed, how do you advise the Phoenix King responds? Publicly shaming his messenger. Let's see. Change the message. Spread disinformation. No, we do not want to do that. Publicly shame this hidden messenger. It is a necessary sacrifice.
Ready for orders.
All right.
Tyrion, heir of Anarion. Servant of the king.
I await your command. Destruction.
All right.
What news?
For 10 turns earned, he will receive 2 influence per turn. Very nice.
Shield of Alaria.
Next turn, I'll attack.
The goddess forbids it.
Ah, fuck. He has execution. They have executioners. Hargonet executioners. These are some of the most powerful units, infantry in the game. They tear through enemy infantry. I mean, at least in this mod. In the original game, they kind of sucked. Anyways, other classic D&D influences. First, there is a mostly male party, with the exception of the elf Deedlit. This is largely because most early traditional gamers were men. Even Deedlit was played by a male, by a male gamer. And Gary Gygax, the creator of D&D, did not think girls would enjoy RPGs.
You have the nerve to stand before me?
No, no, not until you make peace with Alariel. All right.
Shield against
Let's
the darkness.
go. Alright, I can get another spell right now. Curse of the Midnight Wind. This could be useful in debuffing those executioners. Yeah, I think I'll take this.
Your orders?
What do you require?
Alright, I've gathered enough influence, so I'm going to go and let's see, let's go scout out Safari.
Resting for a little while.
Awaiting orders.
Alright, should I attack right now or should I besiege them? You know what, I am going to besiege them, see if they come for me. So see if they attack me. Or will I, considering considering I need to... Well, let's see what happens next turn. Also, another thing in Record of Lodoss War, there are dwarves. Dwarves are not very popular in modern fan service filled isekai isekai fantasy settings, largely because they are not attractive and the only purpose of anime is to sell figurines to gooners. But any anime series that includes any anime series that has a good dwarf character is based automatically, and such as, for example, Dungeon Meshi. Dungeon Meshi has the dwarf Senshi, who is like an amazing cook, which is like the whole point of the anime. So this series, I will explain the dwarf character later. He is epic. Let's see, even if he is a stereotypical dwarf, which is automatically awesome. Let's see. Let's give this to my silver helms. We can do that. Alright, this is going to be another bloodbath. I could tell. Even if I am the one defending. Although I'm the one with the forest cover right now. Anyways, there's also a powerful and ancient civilization and as is the case in most Western D&D settings. And I will get to that because that's a very important part of this particular story and the morals behind it. I mean, not the morals, but the themes. And another thing I noticed is that this takes place after a group of heroes have defeated the Demon Lord. This is a pretty common Japanese fantasy trope. Like, for example, that's the whole point of the story of Frieren. That's one of the things that Sandy Peterson likes so much. Likes so much about Frieren. Okay.
Spearmen. Archers.
I'll have these guys guard the flanks.
Without fail.
Loven Seaguard.
Archers. Spearmen.
We will obey. Loven Seaguard.
We will obey.
Okay.
Loven Seaguard.
Awaiting orders.
Champion.
Sort of an ambush.
Silver Helms.
Sword of the Asur.
Alright, so every...
Fight for your souls! Fight for your homeland! Earth One is defended to victory!
Alright, everyone is hidden, so which means they're going to actually start looking for me. Where are those executioners? Executioners, where are you little shits? Ah, there we go. Let him come. Let him come. Okay, I need to go. Too many arrows. Remember, you. One thing I will point out is that no, one thing I will point out is the arrows of the orcs are the main reason why the hobbits didn't just ride the eagles to Mount Mordor. That's very very common, you know, the very common criticism of Lord of the Rings. Why don't they just ride the eagles? It's because they would be shot down by the orcs. Come and get some. Come a little closer, a little closer. Okay, the shooting has begun. And they are in disarray. They are in completely out of formation. Alright, that was a glorious bombardment.
It will be done.
Let's bring out our rangers. Let's bring out our...
Understood.
For duty.
Okay, let's see if I can snipe that wizard.
Striking forth. Annihilate them. Seal the Reaper.
Ulfwan Mage. Winds of magic rise!
Alright.
Orders received. Orders received. Death to all.
Alright.
Silver helms.
My silver helms are cleaning up.
Asa, attack.
Spellcaster. Agreed.
Alright, let's see what this curse can do.
Lakoi Soraya!
Heir of Anarion. No mercy. Kill them.
Okay, the executioners are already chopping my troops up.
Silver helms. Following orders.
Oreo!
Alright, so far so good.
Warrior. Ulfwan.
Ulfwan Mage. Menlui! Araya Menlui!
For duty! At once!
Purify.
It shall be done!
Spearmen.
Alright.
For Ogran.
Setting forth. Eager for battle.
Alright. The Supreme Sorceress is fleeing.
By Assyrian.
Loyal! Asa forward! Lakoi!
To battle.
battle awaits.
Silver helms.
Oh, silver helms are spent. Oh, the dark shards, the executioners, they...
Spearmen!
It will be done. For our ancestors.
Efua, bend to my will.
Sunfang lusts for battle. I go. Forward. Victory awaits.
Magical power.
Moving out.
Alright, let's move in.
For the king.
We advance!
We away.
Understood. For our ancestors. It shall be done.
Heir of Anarian.
Alright, turning on the Berserk mode for Tyrion.
Death to all! Attack!
Setting forth. Ulfwan!
Alright, this is
Without
pretty
fail.
straightforward. Wait, I just realized.
Dagger
This phoenix, it's a firebird, and a firebird is basically a lava chicken. Shit. No, I'm not singing it.
Ulfwan Mage. The winds rise.
Apace!
Understood.
March, as you say. Ancestor!
Make Ulfwen proud.
Alright.
Move!
Okay.
time to go.
Yeah, time to go to hell. Arrows in your ass. Needles in your rear.
Make Ulfwan proud.
We will obey. Yes.
Servant of light.
I go there.
All right. Yeah, pretty straightforward. All right, so anyways, characters. I have pictures for all of them. Where is it? Okay, so we have Parn, the painfully lawful good, the painfully heroic hero who wants to be like his father, and he hates monsters and wants to wipe them out. Pretty cliche, but also not bad. He's but not necessarily bad. I mean, it's not bad to be cliche, especially when every anime is trying to deconstruct fantasy these days. We have Slain. Slain is a scholarly, studious wizard who wants to go to who used to go to a magic academy. He's the one who knows a lot about the arcane stuff, and that's pretty much it. He's a wizard. Harry. We have Eto, painfully good twink. He is seriously, the one thing I will point out is that the as someone with very low reading fluency, I often skip over words, and because of that, I don't always get descriptions of characters very good. So I kind of skipped over the whole part where Edo was a twink. At first, I just thought he was like a grizzled, like, older man, since he was using a sling, so I thought he was a villager. What else? Then we have Woodchuck. Woodchuck is the mandatory asshole chaotic neutral thief, and he's an older person. He was isolated in a dungeon for 20 years, but somehow has come out with his mind intact and wants revenge on a hell of a lot of people. You know, never let the backstabbing thief out of sight and all that. What else? Now we have the non-humans. We have Gim. He is a dwarf. That's it. No. Further seriously, he has a heart of gold. He's trying to help one of the original heroes, Nice, the cleric who helped defeat the Demon Lord, trying to help her find her daughter. So, dwarf with a heart of gold, but nevertheless still a dwarf, likes drinking, fighting, and making tools, and making jewelry and the like, craftsman. And then, of course, we have Deedlit. Deedlit is the retro elf waifu, the stuff of dreams for many, both fantasy fans in both the East and the West. I never first of all, I never realized how many fantasy enthusiasts in both the West and the East love elves. And I can see why. I mean, look at this. And now you're not looking at it. But, yeah, anyways. Yeah, she's also a very likable character, very likable elf. Obviously, main character, Parn's love interest, but very supportive, very feminine. Nothing wrong with that, of course, but definitely, there's nothing, but definitely can fight, although, of course, by fighting, I mean fighting with a rapier. I don't know why elves are typically associated with using rapiers, considering that they are based on Germanic folk spirits. But, you know, this is based on D&D and all that. She also carries, elemental spirits that she occasionally asks to help her out. Okay, so...
Kill them all!
Kill those idiots. Druki Destroyer, just the way it should be. All right.
Of course. For my queen.
The queen, of course, being the Everqueen.
No mer... Sunfang hungers. This place is ours.
All right. All right, the Cult of Excess has been destroyed.
Champion of the
Let's
Everqueen.
issue a commandment, which of course is tribute to the Phoenix King, because I want to assert the Phoenix King control over this land, and make sure that anyone who was tempted by the Druki's promises of dark delights is purged.
Noble son of Ulthuan.
Tyrion, shield of Alarion.
He also needs to be wary, because, you know, he also needs to be wary because needs to be wary of traitors.
Servant of the king.
So let's see what the
Protector
Shrine of
of the
Assyrian
Everqueen.
has. Okay, so the setting actually does not take place on a large continent. It takes place on the island of Lodoss, which is remote from the larger continent that the later series by Ryo Mizuno, Rune Soldier, takes place on. So that's actually the Japanese name. Lodoss to Tosenki, meaning record of Lodoss Island War. So Lodoss is an island about the size of, like, I don't know. It's a JRPG setting, so basically it's big enough for plenty of exploration, but not huge enough to take too long to travel through. The factions are not particularly original. Mostly of them are just righteous kingdoms, with the exception of the bad guy kingdom, Marmo, which is like a small island in the south ruled by the warlord Beld, one of the original heroes who lost his soul. Interestingly enough, the desert kingdom of Flame, with like Flame, which spelled Flaim, which is like the Arab equivalents, is also ruled by a righteous leader, which is a far cry from Ganondorf and the Gyarados in the Ocarina of Time. Portents of doom cloud the settlement, so many of its inhabitants flee to seek sanctuary or a change in fortunes elsewhere.
At your service.
Alright. Huh, I'm like Thorfinn, I have no enemies. And let's make some, because that's a problem. Let's see, let's go fight with... Let's go fight with Safari, because Safari...
Child of Isha, what do you seek?
Alright. I need some funds for my... I need some funds for my campaign against our brethren, so lend me some money, Sugar Mama.
I will use my gifts.
Okay, we have an alliance. Let's build an outpost. An outpost means I can actually recruit units from them, which means I can recruit Dryads, because that's they're the only high health faction that can get those. Alright.
Awaiting orders. Following your orders.
Should I fight this out? I mean, it's a close victory. I'd like to make it a decisive victory, so yeah, let's do it. Alright, so... One thing before we begin this battle, I won't point out. One thing I really don't like, I'm a tiny little annoyed about, is one of my pet peeves in fantasy, and that is the fact that gold is the most basic currency. Like, people are given bags of gold, adventurers are given bags of gold as rewards. That obviously was not the case in the real Middle Ages. Gold was like, if you owned even a single gold coin, you were rich as fuck. Or at least you were middle class. Gold was the kind of thing that was used in savings, not as a currency.
Understood. We will obey. Acknowledged. Archers. For duty.
It shall be done.
Okay.
Orders.
Loyal.
Without fail.
Shield
Alright,
of the
sounds
Evergreen.
good. Let's go.
Understood.
Acknowledged. Advance!
Yes!
We will obey.
Archers, we go! We advance!
Alright, they are non-information, which means they cannot target my unshielded troops.
Onward! For duty!
Destruction awaits.
We will obey!
Lakoy!
Suppressive fire. Okay, I'm going to send him back because he is really running out of not doing so well in terms of health.
Maintaining order.
Silver Helms! Asa!
Move! Heir of Anarian.
Attack! For Ulthuan!
Apace! Asa! Advance! Moving out! March!
Tyrion! I go! Understood.
Doing my duty.
Alright.
Silver Helms! For Ulthuan!
Loyal! For the Ever Queen!
Assure, warrior! King and country!
Yeah, they can't really have. They don't tend to have very high impacts in forests. So
For order! Sword of the Assur!
wait. I pulled my Phoenix back, right? Please tell me he didn't die.
Defender of Ulthuan! For Ulthuan!
I don't know if I have short-term memory loss sometime, but I know, I have short-term memory loss sometimes. But anyways, I think we're good. All right. All right. Yes, I did pull him back. All right. To disobey the Dragon Emperor is to shun a being older than the gods. Correct, because in the Warhammer world, dragons were here before the arrival of the old ones. Only 9 troops lost. Beautiful. Okay, so anyways, I'm not gonna spoil too much about Record of the Lodoss War because the party starts mostly aimless, which is traveling to another kingdom for various reasons, and the story moves very fast. That's why I like it, because it gets to the point very fast, which is good for my ADD brain.
Occupy this place, champion of the Ever Queen.
Okay, Tyrion has got his horse.
The Reaper, shield of Alaria.
All right.
Noble son of Ulthuan. Noble lord.
Okay.
As you say.
Can I make these guys into my vassals?
It pains me to hear you.
I wonder. Anyway, Safari is all on its way down. On its way out, so... Yvres.
I will hear you. I promise no more than that.
I'll give you a little gift to sweeten the deal of trade. It'll last. It'll be rewarding in the long run. Kotik. I forget what these guys do.
I've heard tales of your valor. Let us sit and talk together.
Tirnock is still at war with the Illyrians, so I'll have to deal with them. Tirnock are they're famed for their chariots, and by the way, this guy is basically Batman. He is the warden. He is the warden of Yvres. He sets out to uphold the law and defeat the orcs that come from the east. Oh, orcs and goblins, I mean. And also, he is the one elf elf hero who has actually directly landed a raid on Nagaroth, the capital of the Dark Elves, making him a big damn hero. Okay.
I am the
Military
bright
ally.
flower of the goddess.
I wonder, can I confederate Illyrian?
Your word shall reach the Phoenix throne. Choose if you wish.
Alright.
We are ill at ease.
Alright, I think we're good here. I will also build a settlement here, that's fine. Alright. So yeah, moves
I
very...
am quick to anger and slow to forgive.
Seems fair. This is Nakari. Nakari is an ancient demon of Slanesh who has regularly gone to war with the elves because he loves the taste of elven souls. He often works with the dark elves and likes seducing allies rather than going to war with them. But all bets are off here. But yeah, let's see. There's clearly no system of long leveling, a long system of leveling like in D&D. Because they move up very fast. They move up in the ranks of the island very fast.
Tyrion, heir of Anarion.
Okay, Safari has been dealt with.
Noble son of Ulthuan.
Let's head over
Stopping
to
for the moment.
the area occupied by Nakari.
Champion of the Ever Queen.
What do I do with this anyways? Oh, leads the Asur towards the second scouring. So eventually it'll come into play.
Servant of the king. I never tire. Ever vigilant. I am honored.
I'm going to gift them this settlement just because it would make them easy to confederate later.
You stand before the mistress of the undying forest.
All right, alliance, and let's see how much can you offer me as a gift in return. I require funds in my quest to unite the elves and destroy our enemies.
Yes.
All right.
Shield against the darkness. Protector of the Everqueen.
Okay, once I get to 30 influence, I will recruit Alistair the White Lion.
The Asur are troubled.
Ready to serve.
Okay. So the party almost immediately encounters the main villain, the Grey Witch.
If what you seek is for the greater good, my sword is yours.
Seems fair. Almost immediately encounters the main villain, the Grey Witch, and goes on to accomplish deeds that challenge the fate of entire kingdoms, like within like the first half of the book, which is already fairly short. And by the end, the main characters have all become war leaders in the first volume of 10. I like it because I like to get to the action right away.
It shall be done.
Alright, let's see if I can...
Trained by the White Tower.
At your service.
Okay, the quest is...
Champion of the Everqueen.
Who are these guys? Oh yeah, they're orcs. Cairn Thiel. Skullcrag. They're currently at war with Ivres. I will deal with them.
Speak plainly, and only of matters of business.
Perfect.
No mercy. Sunfang hungers. This place is ours. Alariel's champion.
All right. Alright, just upgrading these outposts, that'll make it easier to recruit units from them. I'll do this later.
Asur Noble.
Anyways, so being a translation of a Japanese work, Record of Lodoss War doesn't have any flowery figurative language. The sentences get straight to the point, and descriptions of characters are not very thorough, like I said. That's one weakness it has.
What do you wish to discuss?
I am planning to do that eventually, so okay.
Tradition is maintained.
Okay. The sacred flame of Assyrian. Malekith attempted to, when Malekith began his civil war, he attempted to do what his father did and enter the flame of Assyrian and be reborn as the Phoenix King. However, while Anarion went into the flame and came out a living god, Malekith was nearly burned to a crisp, and became and after being encased in a suit of armor, in a suit of magic armor, basically became well the Witch King from Lord of the Rings.
Your orders? Ready for orders.
Okay.
I will be vigilant.
Guide me.
Let's get some assassinations off. Harass the enemy. Where did his hero go? Alright, let's spy on them.
Awaiting orders.
So since I don't have very good reading fluency, I often miss the very important details of their appearances, and I'd look them up, so I had to actually look up Eto before I realized he was a twink. Still, the event descriptions were fast and furious, and I loved every minute of it. Then there's the final battle. So the final battle, this is not Record of Lodoss Adventure, it is Record of Lodoss War. So there is a war with the kingdoms on the mainland and the kingdoms of Marmo. Yeah, and the kingdom.
Ancestors would be proud.
Shock right off!
Ever loyal. Tyrion, heir of Anarion.
Alright, I will quickly take this.
Defender of Ulthuan. There is glory to be won. We have captured it. Shield against the darkness.
Okay.
As you command, Ulthuan's defender.
Let's see, I definitely need some extra casualty replenishment, or else my Phoenix will eventually get killed.
Your orders.
Okay, now let's recruit All-Star. Lion of Grace. Minus 10% upkeep for White Lions of Grace, War Lions, and Lion Chariot units. Ambush defense chance, charge bonus for all units ranked 7 and above. Overzealous attack. Very nice.
How can I assist you? Entering the garrison.
Okay.
Lord of the Phoenix Court.
For now,
Loyal
let's just get some... Let's get some more... Let's get some more Sea Guard.
You have my attention.
Setting the
Let's
pace.
explore a bit.
I will move momentarily.
Protector of the Everqueen.
So everything's going along fairly well right now. But yeah, so like I said, final battle. I like the detail. There are a few interesting details I do like. First of all, I like the little detail that the soldiers in the Grand Alliance of Order have a code word to distinguish themselves against the Earls with the forces of Marmo. So it's very historically authentic, but because soldiers actually did do that to make sure they could distinguish each other in the casualties in the chaos of battle. They're also described to fight in a formation rather than individual one-on-one duels. The authenticity, it ends there though. The heavy infantry all fight with swords instead of spears, which that wouldn't happen except in like rare cases like the ancient and gladius heavy infantry. After fighting in formation after a short while, eventually the battle descends into chaos. Cielo Jose, I just finished reviewing the story.
Tyrion.
Damn. I just finished reviewing Record of Lodoss War. Maybe I should start over, or maybe, of course, I can go straight into reading aloud. I can go straight into reading aloud. What's it called? The Pirates of Venus. Damn.
Servant of the King.
Well, one thing I have wanted to mention about Record of Lodoss War in a while is the whole theme of it. So, a little bit of a spoiler, the main character is this guy named, main villain, the Grey Witch. It's basically she says that, this is a very common trope, that the ancient civilization I don't think there's a name for it, just called the ancient civilization.
Shield of Alaria.
Basically was at peace. Humanity was united and united, and they worked together and achieved great feats of magic and great feats of technology. And then they, in their hubris, they conducted a powerful ritual that ultimately destroyed them. And this is basically what the Grey Witch wants to prevent. The Grey Witch wants to keep humanity in a constant state of war because it'll keep them technologically and scientifically stagnated so that they don't destroy themselves. They continue to live in excruciating pain from war, but they continue to live. And of course, the hero Parn doesn't want that. He wants humanity to be able to have free will and decide what they want. No, this is Total War Warhammer. I'm just describing Record of Lodoss War. So do you want me to... You just came here after 2 hours. Do you want me to start the review from the beginning? Because I don't mind doing that.
Kill them.
But yeah, the Grey Witch saying humanity needs to remain divided or else they'll destroy themselves sort of reminds me of the Tower of Babel myth. The original, so in the, I don't know clearly not that many people have actually read,
hungers.
not that many Christians have actually read the Bible. I actually have a close friend who is a devout Protestant who only listens to what his pastor says, and his pastor commonly says God scattered humanity because they were evil, but that's one way of interpreting it. But read as worded, God basically says, look at humanity building this huge tower. If they are united, they're capable of doing anything, and we have to prevent that, so let's scatter them. The tower and the great city was built with no malice. It's basically saying, let's make a name for ourselves, let's prevent ourselves from being scattered, so let's build this huge tower. And maybe God just didn't want them to have too much power for selfish reasons, or maybe God can see the future. It's established that God can see the future, and so God knows if humanity can do this, eventually they will do something. Even if they're not doing anything real evil right now, eventually they will be able to. And so he scatters them and divides them. And this is sort of what the Grey Witch wants to do. Wants to keep them divided so that they don't ultimately destroy themselves by flying too close to the sun.
I lust for battle.
So makes you think about what's going on today, because what is it? Makes you think a bit about what's going on today, because humanity is united. Even if not all of us can speak the same language, English is a lingua franca, and the greatest minds, the most educated of all, can all speak English. And so we can do things, we can unite, and we now unite on the forum that is America. Everyone pours money into the Magnificent Seven, investing in the Magnificent Seven, which are ultimately, and you know what the Magnificent Seven is doing? They're building AI. We're eventually within like maybe 10 or 20 years, or even a few, we're going to build AI that's so advanced it can basically learn on its own. It can learn on its own, artificial generative intelligence, and that might be the point where we fly too close to the sun. And be it Skynet or an AI that doesn't want to destroy us but decides that it wants to control us instead, like Vicky in what's it called? In the iRobot movie. So that might be the price of our unity. Of course, AI could also turn out really bad, like I have no mouth, like AM and I have no mouth and I'm a scream. What's it called? Where the AI becomes evil because it's created to destroy, it's created to fight in a world war. And that's kind of what's happening. We're losing all control, we're relinquishing all control of AI development because of a race to develop AGI before China does. That's one price of not our unity but our division. So just a thought. Just a thought, but that's a very interesting theme I came across in Record of the Lodoss War, and yeah, that's it. If you want to go more into, if you want more detail, you will have to read it yourself.
There is glory to be won.
Absolutely.
I lust for battle. Occupy this place.
Ready for orders.
Although, to be fair, a Lodoss war mod in Total War would be freaking epic.
Can I offer assistance?
But yeah, that is my review of Record of Lodoss War. Absolute win, absolute epic, absolutely epic. And yeah, it's awesome. So anyways, it's been 2 hours. I probably should eat something, and I should probably also get some exercise. And I have a personal AI project that I'm going to work on that I might actually post about on my video with the code on my channel with the code and everything. So, unless anyone has any complaints, I'm going to, unless anyone specifically does want me to review the book again, hold your peace. So, otherwise, hold your peace. Wait. Let's see, what should I put on my, rally citizen militia? What would a Record of Lodoss War mod in Total War look like? Because again, remember, it's one tiny army. It's one tiny island, one province of Marmo, rushing to that ends up threatening to take over the entirety of Lodoss, and they're able to do that with the help of the Grey Witch, who uses deceit and assassination to defeat the enemy's morale and sow corruption and chaos. Definitely would be a very different kind of Total War. Largely because all the other good factions would be entirely human, and a human with the help of maybe some elves and dwarves, and Marmo would have both humans, dark elves, and monsters. So, but yeah, I think I'm going to get going. Thank you very much for coming, Cielo Jose, and yeah, I will actually continue this campaign in the future. Lodoss War review, as I review more of the books. So, who is, let me see, who is doing anything right now? Oh, Amanda Splatz is doing something. Amanda Splatz is doing something, but anyways, yeah. Thanks for coming, and expect more to come.